I wasn't looking for a mystery that night. I was just scrolling, half awake, when a grainy clip popped up, a driveway, a motion sensor, and then, a pair of pale long legs calmly walking across the screen with no torso, no arms, no head, just walking pants. I blinked, replayed it again, and that was the moment I accidentally stepped into one of the strangest cryptid rabbit holes I've ever touched. Here's how I uncovered the Fresno Nightcrawler mystery. The story starts in Fresno, California, back in 2007. A homeowner kept hearing his dogs barking at night. Something in the yard kept triggering the motion sensor, but by the time he checked, it was gone, so he set up an old-school CCTV camera. The kind that records only when something moves. And then, one night, something did. On the tape, you see the quiet yard lit by a security floodlight, and then a tiny white figure steps in from the left. Tall legs, a tiny upper section, and this hypnotic glide, like gravity doesn't apply the same way to it. A second, smaller one follows behind. I didn't know it yet. But that clip, that 2007 Fresno footage, is what gave birth to the legend. Here's why it spread like wildfire. It didn't move like a human. Its proportions were impossible. And the homeowner, he never tried to profit from it. No press tours, no merch, nothing, just a confused guy who wanted to know what walked across his lawn. That detail, that's what hooked me. I downloaded the clip and started going frame by frame. At first, I thought it was funny, a silly internet creature, but the deeper I looked, the stranger it got. The legs don't bend like ours, they float, almost like fabric moving underwater. There's a strange pause between each step, but not the kind a puppet makes. It's too smooth, too fluid. There's also no shadow where a torso should be, no shoulders, no head that dips with movement. If this thing were a person in a suit, they'd have to be walking with their entire upper body magically erased.
And then I realized something else. The stride length is weird. Longer than a child, shorter than an adult, but the creature's height, barely 3 feet tall. Biologically, that ratio doesn't make sense. And that's when the hoax theories start to break down. If it's a puppet, where's the support line? If it's CGI, why does the compression look so authentic to 2007 cameras? If it's a kid in pants, that kid has some next-level core strength. Each question made me want more answers. Right here is where neuromarketing kicks in. The moment your brain goes, this shouldn't exist. But what if? That's exactly the mental loop these clips create. And that's how I fell in. Subscribe if you love unraveling mysteries like this. We dig into them every week. Just when I thought I had a handle on the Fresno footage, I stumbled on something that made everything way stranger. There was another sighting. In 2011, 4 years after the original, Yosemite National Park security captured something walking across a campground path. And when I opened the clip, my stomach actually dropped a little, because it looks almost identical.
Same long legs, same floaty glide, same weird cloth-like movement. But this time, the terrain is wide open, and the creature crosses the entire frame. There's no homeowner who might have staged it. No reason for rangers to fake something. Just a cold, quiet night. And two of these things walking past the camera like they're out for an evening stroll. This is where the mystery shifts. But 2 recordings, 4 years apart, in 2 different locations? That's when people started calling it a cryptid, not a prank. And the comparisons get eerie. The Yosemite version is taller, the stride is longer. The movement is still impossibly smooth. It's like the same species, just grown. As soon as I saw this second clip, I knew the story was much bigger than internet folklore. The next piece of the puzzle came from a forum post, someone casually dropping the idea that the Nightcrawler might appear in Native American carvings. At first, that sounded like a reach. That's when I found references to walking spirits and tall-legged guardians in certain oral traditions. No, they're not exact one-to-one matches, and no, there's no perfect statue that looks exactly like the Nightcrawler. But the shapes, the symbolism, shockingly close.
Some tribes describe protector spirits that took unusual forms, long-limbed beings that move softly, silently, like they're not limited by human joints. Again, not confirmed, not proven. but the thematic overlap is unsettling. If these legends are connected even loosely, it could mean the Nightcrawler isn't a modern invention, but something woven into regional spiritual culture long before a security camera caught it. To be clear, I'm not claiming truth. I'm exploring possibilities with respect, because these traditions exist for deeply cultural reasons. But the more I compared them, the more my brain kept returning to that original footage, and the shape walking across that Fresno driveway. By this point I'd gone through every angle. Scientific, folkloric, and yes, some theories that aren't exactly grounded but are definitely interesting. Here's where I landed. Puppet hoax possible, but unlikely. The physics don't match typical puppetry, and neither clip has the giveaway jerks or lines you'd expect. CGI. If it is CGI, it's shockingly well done for the technology and tools most people had in 2007, and the Yosemite footage, recorded by park rangers, not influencers. Folkloric spirit fits the shape, movement, and native descriptions, but impossible to prove. Unknown. Species sounds wild, but not impossible. We discover bizarre species every year, and the Nightcrawler's walk is unlike any terrestrial animal. Interdimensional walker. This is the fan favorite theory. The glide, the thinness, the weird joints. Now weird thinness, the weird joint. Some people think it looks like something slipping partially into our reality. And honestly, when you watch the footage at 3 a.m., that theory starts making more sense than it should. Each explanation fits. Yet, none of them fully answer what those cameras recorded. After digging through hours of footage, folklore, biomechanics, and every theory imaginable, here's where I landed. The Fresno Nightcrawler is either the strangest hoax ever made, or something we genuinely don't have a category for yet. The movement still bothers me, the proportions still bother me, and the fact that there are two separate clips, from completely different sources, bothers me the most. So, now, I want to know what you think. What detail do you think people keep missing? Drop it in the comments. I read every theory.